Hi, I'm Raeann,
I'm Hannah.
I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Morgan.
and this is the Good Soup Podcast, and today we're talking traveling.
Good soup.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Well, this is a Good Soup Podcast now on video.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, yeah, if you're listening, if you are listening on Spotify, then head over to our YouTube channel. I think it's like youtube.com/@InsideTheBoxCreations or something like that. Inside the Box Creations. And then you can see our lovely faces. And if you're watching on YouTube, wow, thanks.
Give it a thumbs up.
Destroy
like and subscribe.
We're
Smash
official-
that like button.
Circle the like button.
Circle? What?
Nerd
Circle.
Circle the like
no,
button.
nerd circle.
Nerd
Oh.
circle.
Nerd
Is that
circle.
a thing?
Heard of that?
No.
No.
Nerd circle.
You're the gamer.
That's just
Okay,
you.
I'm not a gamer.
Well, you.
I'm a
Last of Us
crafter.
girl.
No, a nerd circle. So there's like the nerd is in the middle, and everyone is like beating up the
Oh.
nerd. And
Oh.
We would be the nerds in
Yeah.
that situation.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
I said nerd circle the
that's-
like button, not.
Oh.
I think that's
Us.
just
My
a you
goodness.
thing, Hannah. I've never heard of that.
Of you.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Nerd circle? No,
so
Okay.
as I
this episode's about
mentioned,
trauma. No, just kidding.
Isn't every episode about trauma?
Yeah.
Uh,
the relationship one. Anyways.
All right. So today we're talking about traveling. So we're gonna kind of get right into it. So we're just gonna talk about, speaking of trauma, our childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you guys have any like favorite travel memories or experiences when you were children, or really bad? I guess
Mm.
Mm.
I can start. So my uncle had a timeshare in Mexico, Cancun, which
Ooh.
timeshares are schemes.
Oh.
Do not
I mean,
get a
Yeah,
timeshare.
my grandma had one in Florida.
Anyway, and so we went to Cancun twice. It was really funny. So once, Isaac, the oldest one of my brothers, he was like 1, and Owen was still not even born yet, and so he went on the trip, in the womb, and then the second time, Owen was able to come with us. He was like a baby. I specifically, something I distinctly remember from one of the 2 trips, I was like in 3rd and 4th grade, is I brought, or like my aunt had like a camera, like we had cameras to take pictures.
Yeah.
And so I vlogged.
Oh,
Before-
yes, you did.
Before vlogging existed, I vlogged that trip
So cute.
with my, okay,
that.
now it goes to a sad traumatic part.
Oh. Oh.
So when we got back, my aunt put together like a little video, and so it included my like little vlog, and so I showed it to my class, and then everyone laughed at me, and I think it was because of my voice, because I had like a baby voice and like a speech impediment, but
Oh,
That's so sad.
but no, I remember the trip being super fun, just
As long as you had fun. That's
I had fun.
Yeah.
We went to this restaurant where it was like on the water, and they were like alligators like outside, and my family kept taking my baby brothers and like holding them over. I got so scared, and like we were on like a boat somewhere, and they would do that and be, oh, you're gonna drop my baby brother.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
That's terrifying.
Yeah. And then also, a last kind of part of this trip, these 2 trips really memorable, is so they had like a pottery place on the resort. So
Oh,
you
yeah. Those
you
are
can
fun.
pick whatever pottery you'd want, and then you'd paint it. And then like the main artist there would like add a bunch of details, and like they'd make it fancy and stuff. And so we still have, I know for sure we have like a little plate that I made. I'm not sure what other pieces of those pottery we still have, but I like seeing it. I made it and I gave it to my grandma, and then after she passed away, we took it back. So every time I see it, I get reminded of her.
That's sweet.
Cute.
Also, I was just thinking about how they laughed at you. Miss KTIS, they're not laughing now.
Yeah.
literally. Film
Miss
major
Podcast
now,
Queen.
Like, dude,
No,
shout
it-
out to those people who bullied Raeann. We're gonna find you.
Oh.
Just kidding. Love
You can
you.
use her nerd circle
I'm
knowledge.
gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna nerd circle you, bro.
I would, yeah, I was very insecure about my voice for a long time until I like got here and started doing
Really?
this.
Aw.
It's healing.
You found
Healing
your
my
voice.
trauma. I found my voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next? Childhood trips.
Um.
Why are y'all looking at me?
Okay,
I don't
I'll
know.
go.
You go for it.
I don't know. I didn't really take a lot of trips when I was younger. My dad's just kind of like a homebody. He likes to stay at home, just like, be with the dogs, be outside. So a lot of the times it was just like my two other siblings and then my mom traveling. And a lot of times we just went to like California. But I think the last family trip we took all together was like to Wisconsin Dells or something. We just stayed for like a weekend.
That's so fun.
Cause like that, it was like, oh, like Wisconsin, come on, Dad, like get out of the house, like Wisconsin, is that good enough?
Just go next door.
Yeah, he did that, but I don't know. But yeah, when I traveled with my mom and my other siblings, yeah, we just like go to California or, I was gonna say Wisconsin, but I just did. So and then Florida, but yeah, I have a family in California, so we went there a lot, and then. Yeah, I guess. We didn't really travel a lot. Or if it's like road trips for like my sister's like basketball tournaments or something, just like around Minnesota. I
Yeah.
don't know. I haven't really done much traveling, but that's to change.
Yes.
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 Very
Love
soon.
that.
Do you have that? Okay, I'll
go
say
for it.
things.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I didn't travel a bunch either, but I guess we kind of did. My mom drove me and my brother down to Tennessee by herself
Oh.
when I think I was like 12 and my brother was like 10 because my dad, he had to work, and so
Oh.
she really wanted to go, but she didn't want to pay for flights, so she drove all the way down.
Determined.
And like little me was not very impressed, but now I've
I
driven
was
to
gonna say,
Michigan
you-
and I was like, this is stupid. And I had a friend with me, so
Mm.
that was impressive. But mostly it's been for like weddings,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
we went on a cruise when I was 10, and that was like my first out of the country experience, and so that was really fun. But yeah, I remember I liked it, but I was like, I'm ready to go home now.
Yeah.
I feel that.
it's intense.
I
but
feel
it's fun.
like you like staying at home, like you're more of a homebody too.
I do. It's like I love going on trips, but I need like a pretty solid recovery time in
Yes.
between.
Mhm.
So like I love it, and then I'm done for a while. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I feel
Mhm.
that.
it's your turn, Hannah.
I kind of have traveled a lot.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh, everything
much
I have
today.
traveled.
Yes,
I'm
it's
just
fine.
like, it kind of did. The ones that come to mind would be, I lived in Texas, so I remember many car rides. To
You
Sea-
traveled to Texas?
Yeah, I traveled.
You
to
lived there,
Texas.
so
Yeah, I have more to say, Morgan. I have more
Sorry,
to say.
sorry.
I have more to say. But anyway, road trips to SeaWorld was a big thing as a child.
In Texas?
I don't know. In Texas, and then my aunt, she lives in Florida, or great aunt. So we'd fly there. That's where my grandma also had a timeshare there, so we'd go there a lot. And then, like when I was like a baby, we'd travel to Minnesota every now and then, maybe. I don't know, but yep. But
I
Yes.
I don't understand people who willingly travel to Minnesota
Yeah,
if they're
I
not
really
visiting
don't-
a
Well,
family.
yeah.
Also, like,
we
why
had
did your
family?
yeah. I'm like, why did your parents move to Minnesota? Every
Yeah.
time someone moves here, like,
Well, my mom, she got laid off at work.
That's rough.
Yeah,
Trauma.
no, trauma. Let's go. No, she got laid off, and then we moved here because there was more family in Minnesota than Texas. We had a few. We
Mhm.
have my uncle there, and no one else. So we moved here because there's a lot more.
That makes
family,
sense.
so.
See, my mom was from California. I'm like, why did you move here?
Yeah.
What happened?
I
Was your dad from Minnesota?
Yeah.
She must have really loved your dad.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's what I know. I always make
why?
comments. And she's like, yeah, I'm still here. I'm like, yeah, we could have been living in California. We have all our family out there. Like, what happened? Like, why the opposite? Like, Minnesota's
Literally,
so
California
opposite.
is so nice.
Yeah, it is. But yeah.
I-
But
yeah.
I think also like Minnesota has like a lot to actually it doesn't really have a lot to see. It's like 9 months winter.
yeah, but I mean, you get all the
But-
seasons. In California,
what
it's
about
only
Mall of
nice.
America?
Mall America. And now we have
Yeah.
like that Taco Bell. That's like
Oh yes, the
I
Taco
haven't
Bell
been there.
Defy.
Dude, I
Yeah.
want
Have
to go
been there.
there.
We should.
I want to go.
Should we go there?
We should
Yeah.
go.
It's not.
Today?
It's pretty close.
What?
Is it? Isn't it like
It's
an
in
hour?
Brooklyn Park.
I'm like, isn't it like an hour? But maybe not. Is it the one that was like those YouTubers came? Didn't like Mr.
Probably.
Beast or something come
Probably.
here and like let's go to Taco Bell? And it was like in
Wow.
Minnesota.
Taco Bell time.
Wow!
Taco
Oh my
Bell.
gosh! Yeah,
Yeah.
the
We're
famous
gonna nerd circle
story.
Taco Bell.
But I was
my
like, have you ever thought of that though? Like, why
It's fine,
is the
it's
Mall of
fine,
America in Minnesota?
Exactly.
Well, we have to have something that like attracts people here.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I
like, when
guess
I
so.
moved here, I was just like Mall of America. Like
But
my
it-
eyes, I was just like, it's
but-
ginormous.
But it's not like.
it is.
I mean, maybe it's because I've lived here,
yeah,
but it's like it's not
if
bad.
you live here. Like my brother-in-law lives in Bloomington, where Mall of America is. Like he
Mhm.
lives a couple minutes away, and so when my sister is visiting him, that's a really weird sentence to say. When my sister visits her husband, another story.
Love that.
Another story. But they like during the winter they'll like go on walks around Mall of America
Mm.
because they can't like go
Yeah.
outside, and so it's like it's so normal to us.
I just feel like for the Mall of America, I feel like they should have more luxury stores there for it being the Mall of America.
Yeah.
And there's like, maybe that's just like my bougie self talking, but like there's like a Chanel there, but it's like it's like in Nordstrom. So it's
Mhm.
like hidden, or like Louis Vuitton or whatever, Louis Vuitton, however you say it. But I just feel like
Louis
there's
Vuitton.
should be more like, wow, this is the mall to get everything at once.
Well, there is like the Crayola experience.
Yeah,
so-
Oh,
that's
and the
Dollar
Lego,
Tree.
and
the
Yeah,
Lego
Louis
store.
Vuitton at
The
Crayola.
Rainforest Cafe. So yeah, I guess.
True. Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota also has like the best rated airport in the country.
Oh,
That's-
really?
So we do have
wait,
that.
actually?
Oh
It's
yeah,
really nice. My dad traveled a
Oh.
lot. And he was
Whoa.
like, MSP rocks.
it's
Nice.
for like
I think I
many
see that.
years. It's been MSP has been rated like the
Wow.
highest.
So check out our airport, you know.
Yeah.
Catch us there.
We'll be
We
there
do have a
leaving.
nice airport. I
Yeah.
will say that. It's nice.
Yeah. All right. So
Off topic, but
off topic. Back to the actual episode.
Yeah.
So, traveling essentials. Hannah, can you explain what you meant by that?
You know, I'm not entirely sure.
I
guess
get
like
it.
so what are some like go-to items, I guess? They're like, okay, like I have to every time I go on a trip, like this is what I have to have, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I've done this. So I've been traveling more recently, and one of my favorite things is I got one of those clear bags on Amazon with like the little containers you can refill,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so nice not having to
Mm.
like repack all of my liquids and like figure out what's small enough. So everything's in this like little container, and I'm a little like OCD, so I'm like everything's in its own section, and I just shove it in my bag. So I really like that.
that's funny.
That's-
How you, that's like the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, I just like the organization.
Organizing containers.
That's
From
very mom
Amazon.
of me,
It
and I
is.
own it, and
and
it's
it's
great.
from Amazon, so that
It
makes
is
it
from
even better.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
That's
do love
Amazon
Amazon.
sponsor us.
Just kidding.
I don't know. I always like bring a backpack as my carry-on.
Mhm.
Like you can just fit a lot of stuff in it, and it's easy to take around. So you're not like holding a bag and then the suitcase and then
Like a traveling backpack.
yeah. I mean, I
Mm.
usually just use my school backpack. Eventually, I will get a traveling backpack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I graduate, my school backpack will graduate with me into a traveling
Oh.
backpack.
Oh,
Nice.
Whoa.
Little
Next step.
ceremony.
Yeah.
Are we invited?
Yes.
Induction
I also I haven't tried this out yet, so I guess it's technically not an essential for me yet. But for Christmas, I got like a little thing. See, the thing with video is now everyone can see me yawn all the time.
Don't make me young. Don't look at me.
But so it's like this little like
Eyes twitching.
sleeve thing that goes over your suitcase handle, and it has like a cup holder and then like a phone holder.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't used
Whoa.
it yet.
Dang.
You need to show us
Because
this.
I will
I
show
want
you.
one.
'Cause I've
Yeah,
seen
but
a
the-
lot of like suitcase covers, but I haven't seen like the handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I literally
So
have no
so
idea.
you just
When
like
you
put
go
it
to-
on the handle and it like goes all the way down, kind of rests on the actual suitcase, and then you can put your phone and
Dang,
drink.
that's very nice.
I didn't
Yes.
have it with me on the last trip that we took because we checked our bags.
Mm.
I think I brought it with,
Oh.
but we checked our bags. But next time I have a carry on.
Be like, look at me. Here we go.
Bougie.
Fancy. Yeah.
Mm. I'd probably say headphones. I don't know. It's like
Yeah. No.
small,
yes.
but I was like, oh, I was listening to music on planes, or like I bring a book. But honestly, reading a book on a plane kind of makes me like nauseous. So I'm like, I'd rather listen to music. Also, especially like with Delta, I mean, they give you headphones to like plug in and watch a movie,
They're
but
the worst headphones ever.
yeah, they're not very
They're
good.
so uncomfy.
But I don't know. I feel like headphones are like an essential. So
Nice. You guys are gonna be
or gum. Sorry, gum.
You're-
I don't. Do you guys like believe the like theory? Like if you, I don't even know if it's a theory. I don't.
I think
But-
it's just true.
But it's like if you chew gum before like your plane takes off, like it helps your
Yeah.
ears not pop.
No, it's like your jaw. I
Yeah.
always
So-
like do weird things.
So
with
I'm
my
like
jaw.
really,
Like,
I'm like really anxious when I'm like taking off because I'm like,
Yeah,
chewing
yeah.
on my gum. I'm like, I don't want my ears to like pop and then like have to deal with that like the whole time I'm like
Mhm.
traveling. So I don't know. I feel like those two things
Hmm. For sure.
or money. You know.
You know, money.
You
That's
know,
a good
great.
thing.
when traveling. Yes,
Money is a life essential. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
true. Very true. Yeah, you guys are gonna be very surprised by this. I always bring Uno, some version of Uno, or like
Right.
deck
Oh,
of
I was
cards.
expecting you to say water, and I was gonna be
Oh,
surprised.
That
You
would
can't
be
bring water
shocking.
on a plane. Well, you can't after checking.
yeah, you
whatever.
can.
Yeah, you can.
Actually, you know what? It's fine.
Ooh, that just reminds me like just an empty water bottle that you fill up like
Mhm.
once you get in.
Yes.
That's essential.
Yeah.
100%.
See, I just bring in an empty water bottle and then
Don't fill it up.
fill it up.
Just for decoration.
yeah.
Tell me about Uno, Hannah. Why Uno?
Yeah.
Well, I just
Right.
feel like there's like if you need something to do, if you're with someone, you can just pull down the tray table and you just play Uno.
Isn't it like, don't you have Coca-Cola Uno or something specific like that?
I have Coca-Cola like regular playing
Oh,
cards,
okay.
but not Uno. But I have like
We should
12
see if
versions.
Coca-Cola Uno exists.
I feel like it
Yes.
would.
I do have like 12 versions of Uno.
Coca-Cola. Sponsor us and make Uno.
Yeah.
I
Sponsor
don't think-
Elizabeth with Amazon. Sponsor me with Coca-Cola. Thank you.
We just each individually get sponsored, not the podcast itself.
There you go. But yeah, and headphones, of course, 'cause I like listening to music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, it's good. Yes.
Yeah. So now each of us, so we've all been on a lot of trips recently.
Yeah.
And so we each are going to kind of talk about in a recent experience that we had. Some of these more of us went on the trip, but we're each going to be talking about something different. So Morgan, it has 2 on yours, but you can do 1 or both.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was just like,
Oh.
Yeah.
just-
So this year is filled with a lot of travel
Mhm.
for me, and it's really has been unexpected, but it's been really fun and good. So I went to South Carolina with the campus outreach trip. I don't know if you guys have heard of campus outreach, but basically it was like a missionary, like, I don't know, we stayed there for a week. We work in a hotel in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So it was my second year going, and I love going to that. It's a lot of fun, and the weather was absolutely beautiful this year. So I was really thankful for that. But yeah, I grew my faith a lot, and the only sucky part is it's a 20-hour car ride down there.
Oh, you guys
And we're
have to
taking like
drive.
15 person vans. So we're like,
Oh,
yeah, it's straight through. And there was one time when I was riding back, I had a co-pilot for 4 hours. I will never co-pilot again. I don't know. It was like during like the middle shift, so I had to go at like 2 a.m. to
What does that mean,
Ooh.
co-pilot?
like you have to. So when the person's driving, you have to make sure they're awake. But really, he was just making sure I was awake. He was talking to me the whole
Oh,
time,
geez.
which I was like, I'm just not a co-pilot. Like I can't do that again. But I don't know. Like the trip was like really fun in general too. I mean, we went to Charleston, So South Carolina. So and then I don't know if you guys have seen like Outer Banks. I'm assuming some no.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good.
They filmed some of the things in Charleston, so I went to go like see where they filmed some stuff, and that was super cool. Like kind of pulling up like the image on my phone and like seeing it in person. And that's like just one of the things I love doing is just seeing where things are filmed and like see if I can like come visit.
Like High School Musical?
Yeah, like High School Musical.
Wow.
I'll get into that. So I don't know. I just love that. So yeah, that was really fun. And then Hannah and I, well, and you, yeah, we went to the Sundance.
You didn't go with us.
Yeah, we went to the Sundance Film Festival in Utah. That was an interesting trip for sure.
To say
I-
the least.
I was actually thinking about this kind of off topic, but you remember that guy I was gonna like go on a date with?
Yeah.
I was thinking
What?
about that. So I'll get
I was
into
not
it.
on the
LOL,
trip. The only one who
surprise.
wasn't.
So it was just an interesting trip in general. I loved the experience of like Sundance. It was like beautiful and like seeing so many people like come there when I knew Sundance was a big deal, but I didn't know it was like that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I was like, there's so many people that just like love film and like, I don't know. I just was amazed by it. And, you know, I like even the films I watched, they were like incredible. And I even saw like some of like actors I was like familiar with like growing up and stuff. They were in some and then like, or they produced some. And I'm pretty sure Debbie Ryan was there.
Yes.
So, and then we also met a group from Mankato, which was really fun. So we got to like know them. Yeah. So I actually am in contact with like some of them still. And we
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, we
Cool.
talked. We were planning on maybe working on a project like over the summer. So
That's cool.
Nice.
yeah. And then, yeah, whatever. Oh yeah. So then the dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember, shout out to this girl named Maddie. She
Shout
was
out.
a security guard.
Yes,
But I
Eddie.
remember I was waiting for a film and I was just like sitting in the lobby and she like sat and talked to me for an hour. We were just talking. She knows all my boy problems. But I talked to her for like an hour and I was like, yeah, like that security guard. He was like around my age. He was like super cute. And then she's like, oh, him? She like went up to him and like told him. I was like, girl, I literally live in Minnesota. Like I'm leaving. Like I can't do that. And so then he like came and talked to me for a little bit. And then he wanted to like go on a date, but I was like, no, like I go home to Minnesota. I'm not going to take time for that. So long story short, that's what that was.
I love that.
But
Man.
yeah, it was a very eventful trip.
Yeah. Just,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was fun. Yeah, I would definitely want to go again, but I would maybe a little bit more organized. this time.
Yeah.
you know.
It was
sure.
kind of like
Agreed.
catching the buses was just like hard, but I don't know, it was just kind of fun. I was like running around the city like I don't know.
And going to
Yes.
see where another movie was filmed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We went to what was it, Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City. Yep.
Yeah, and we saw where the High School Musical movies were like filmed at the high schools. That was a lot of fun because they had like a little sheet that had like a map of like where everything was like filmed specifically like from the movies, and so that was really fun. I got to see Sharpay's locker and like took a picture with it. We made a TikTok and it was a lot of fun. So
That T-shirt.
oh yeah, the principal, all the students there, I felt so bad. They like have so many visitors and they're like, oh yeah, like we're so used to this, but
Even though
like,
it's
yeah.
been forever since the movie.
Yeah, it's just
came
crazy.
out.
I wonder how long it's actually gonna be like that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like how long it's gonna be like.
I mean, I'm gonna show
A
my kids the
staple
movies.
in
Like,
history.
This was the glory days.
I feel like
In cinema history, these were the glory days.
yeah, I feel like 20 years from now they're gonna be like, yeah, like I don't know, they won't like remember. I'm like, no, you have to like keep this like scenery open. Like you have to keep Sharpay's locker. What if they ever get rid of Sharpay's locker?
I would
will
riot.
sell
I
Also,
would-
the early 2000s
I would cry.
kids are coming towards Salt Lake City and being like, you better not.
Yeah.
You better not take it away.
Crack the knuckles.
Nerd
Let's go.
circle.
Nerd
Yeah.
circle.
But yeah, that was really fun. So those are my highlights from those two trips. But yeah.
Yeah. So, I am going to be talking about a trip that Elizabeth and I went on in November of last year. So we went to Nashville, Tennessee, and
Yeehaw.
oh, she's wearing a Nashville
I
shirt.
did not plan that.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at you.
And so we went with the school, with the department, and to a couple of conferences. It was all with the Christian Music and Broadcasting group. And so we got basically, so there was one for people like in the industry, like radio industry, and then the other one was specifically for college students going into the industry. And we were the only college students who got to go to like the main conference, which is so cool. I learned so much from there and made like a lot of connections. It was fantastic.
Were they genuine?
They were genuine connections.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I had to say that. Sorry.
Yep. And yeah, I don't know. There's like so much to talk about. There were a bunch of artists that played. So like Tasha Layton played and Ben Fuller,
Brandon Heath.
Brandon Heath played. And then really like the main conference was like a family reunion for Christian radio professionals. And something super cool was like this industry, like the music and radio industry is very, very competitive. But the Christian music and radio industry, it's a family.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, hey, here's my ideas. Here's what's worked for me. Steal it, please.
Mm-hmm.
I want you all to succeed. Because at the end of the day, like, we have a mission and it is to like spread God's word.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, ratings and money matters. But at the end of the day, it just matters that more people are hearing about God. So I thought that was like the coolest thing in the entire world, that everyone was friends. And like, no matter which station you came from, which part of the industry, and like all the artists are like friends. We got to go to a Matt Maher concert where Ren Collective was
And
playing,
Leanna
and Leanna Crawford, featuring Matt Maher's daughter too, who's super cute. And yeah, I don't know. It was just the coolest thing in the entire world. And that conference for me really like solidified my future plans for being in radio and media and like Christian media in general.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will never forget this trip. And I got to go with like one of my best friends. So it was pretty cool.
It was so fun. It was a
Aw.
blast. And yeah, I feel like it was also eventful, but like eventful in a different way than Sundance.
Yeah.
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 No,
true.
it was really fun.
Was it more
Yeah.
organized?
It
It was
Yeah.
so
Yes,
much more
Raeann, yeah,
organized
very
than the
organized.
Sundance
Did
trip.
you get a lot of your food paid for?
We did get a lot of our food paid for.
Yes.
I paid for like ice cream, and I think that was it.
No, I feel like Seniors paid for ice cream too, honestly.
I bought ice cream for myself once, and then Seniors paid for it once. We got ice cream
Oh.
twice.
Nice. Did you go to Waffle
Oh,
House?
we did. I forgot about that. Yeah.
We did not go to Waffle House.
We should have gone.
Rude. Don't judge me.
No, I haven't been to Waffle House.
Oh, and I think I paid for my coffee once, but
Oh, coffee? Yeah, coffee's worth it.
it was different. It was different than Sundance. Both very, very good experiences, though. I will say.
Yeah.
Okay, Hannah, you're next.
Okay. The fall semester I went to New York, which was very exciting. Yeah, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. I lived in downtown Brooklyn and lived with 3 other people. One of them was from Norway. Natalie is from Norway. Summer is she's from Minnesota, but she goes to school in Iowa, which is pretty cool. I was just like, you're from Minnesota? She's like, but I go to school in Iowa. I'm just like, oh, it could have been close. And then Lauren is from California, so all 4 of us were together. And I went to the King's College, which they are now closed.
Closing.
Rip. But, you know, I went there at the right time. But it was a very interesting experience. The first week or 2, I just was like in fear and like did not want to go literally anywhere. I'm just like, no, we're just gonna stay here. There's Target across the street for groceries, and then go to school and then come back. And then I got much more comfortable and decided, to go to Times Square at like 10 p.m. Yeah, it's fine.
By yourself.
Yeah, by
Casually.
myself. Yeah, casually.
Did you have pepper spray with you?
She had pepper spray, but did she have it with her?
No.
That's another
No, I
question.
did
my
not.
goodness.
It was in my desk in my apartment.
Did
so.
you touch it once on your? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, have you seen the movies Taken by chance?
I know!
No,
That
I
scarred me!
have not. I have not.
Forever.
I have not.
Okay.
No,
Don't
but maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I love Times Square. Times Square is my favorite place. I told many people that, and they were concerned for me. But I'm like, it's okay. But I'm also not a local because a lot of people at Kings, they've lived there for years, and they're like, Times Square is like the place where you don't want to be. And I'm like, but I'm there all the time. Yes.
And you got to go to many Broadway shows.
Yes.
Over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Moulin Rouge twice. I saw Phantom of the Opera. I didn't like it. But I
Well, it's
saw
gone
it.
now, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have so much to say about that, but we're not gonna. That's for a different time.
Another day.
All the tea is for a different time. I saw the play that goes wrong.
I
With
love
one of
it.
the other semester people, which was great.
Sorry.
I saw that.
Sorry.
What else did I see? I saw Chicago, which was good.
Mm.
I originally had seats in the mezzanine, but then we got there, they put us down in the orchestra, and Monique visited, and she's like, "Oh, like this is pretty cool." I'm like, "You don't understand? This is like hundreds of dollars to get the tickets down here." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "So there's a video of me absolutely freaking out, but that was really cool." I think that was all of them. But it was just there's just a lot to see. I easily for sure want to go back as soon as possible. So
Yes. And you went to a
Yeet.
film festival too, right?
yeah, I did. Forgot
The
about
New
that.
York Film Festival. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw casually. I honestly totally forgot about that.
I mean, you were there for a whole semester. You probably did so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that was cool. I didn't know I was in the Juilliard School. I thought it was tied in the main venue. I thought that was part of Lincoln Center. But then I was taking a picture, and then after there's like a little location thing, and I said Juilliard School. I'm just like, what?
That's
Ooh.
crazy.
Because then I was thinking back to high school. I'm like, oh my gosh, High School Musical. Like,
Yeah,
Juilliard.
Juilliard.
Juilliard
Or
is
it's like
a
in
big
every
thing.
single movie too. I feel
Yeah.
like it's
Every-
like Juilliard's my dream school.
Every
Yeah.
smart person wants to go to Harvard or Yale. Every arts person wants
or
to
Brown.
go to Juilliard.
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
Troy Brown.
Or
yeah.
what is it? SCAD or something for film.
Oh,
Southern
Scat. I
California.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of consider. I do have a friend that goes there, but
Okay.
I was like maybe. I'm like, nah, it's fine. But I've heard that's a good school.
Someone's phone is going off.
Yeah, Raeann.
It's not mine. Mine is not on vibrate.
Kidding.
That's my mom.
Elizabeth.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, there was many
Right.
things. I have hundreds of pictures. Yeah, crazy time.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, now you have to talk about yours, right? As your mom is calling.
I know. No, she
She should have answered.
She
Just
saw
been like,
me,
all right,
like,
hey, you're on a
3
podcast."
hours ago, so she's fine. Yeah, I went to I've had the opportunity to go to Nashville twice actually for a work trip, and so that's been really cool. But the last time I went was this
February.
February. Thank you. And
Got you.
yeah, that was super fun. I got to go with Northwestern Media, and we were able to film. It was like 7 different Christian artists,
Mhm.
and so
Dang.
I'm going to see if I can remember some of them. There was Katie Nicole.
I love her.
She's
I'm-
so great. She is
I'm-
lovely.
Yes. I'm editing all the videos.
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
this
you're
time,
doing Katie's.
I'm
so
too.
I'm like, yeah.
Uh huh. And there was Zach Williams
Rachel
and
Lampa.
Rachel Lampa,
Brandon Heath.
Brandon Heath, Andrew Ripp, Matthew West.
Got one more.
Was Ren Collective? No, that was.
No, it
No,
was
that
Ren
was-
Collective.
It was?
It
Okay.
was because there were the 2. Yeah.
Yep.
I do remember that. Yeah, so that was super incredible and crazy. And I still don't know why or how they invite me to these things, but I'm just like, great, thanks, I'm coming. So that was really fun, and I got to operate a camera, which I had never done before. And so no pressure listening to the people that like sang to
Yeah.
me at 5. I'm like, if I mess up, it's all over
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. And yeah, I feel like I've just had a lot of opportunities, and I'm really thankful for them. So
And you got paid to go.
I did
Yeah.
get paid to go. I'm like, I would pay to do this, but I mean, I wouldn't tell them that. So
Yeah.
And said you're getting paid to do
I
it.
know
Yeah.
that's how jobs work. But as a college student, it's kind of weird. To
Yeah.
You
get
guys,
paid
that
for
is
it.
our future.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so
true.
cool.
I'm so excited.
It's so
Yeah,
cool.
that was a really cool experience. And yeah, Nashville. If I were to have to move anywhere or would get to move anywhere, Nashville is like, it's up there for me. I really love
For all the bars and parties, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
the strip kind of
party
sucks.
animal.
I don't like it.
It's not fun.
It's like
Don't go
insanely loud.
don't go to downtown Nashville on a Friday evening after the
No.
CMA Awards and a hockey game.
It was
Oh no.
horrible.
Oh my.
Honestly, that was not it. And I'm
That
not a
just
big
sounds like a terrible thing. to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, someone like getting in a fight with a taxi driver, someone throwing up outside of a taxi.
That sounds like a fun night. I don't know.
That
Like,
sounds like New York, man. I don't
It-
know.
Our little precious Noah getting accosted by a man trying to sell him weed.
Yeah.
sounds like an
Wait,
episode of Jersey
what?
Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was rough. And then there was this girl who like kind of got sexually assaulted in front of
Oh.
me. And that was, it was
Oh,
so
no.
bad. I know. It was so bad. I was like, why did Seniors take us here?
See, you'll live in Franklin, not Nashville.
Yeah, Franklin's great. Well, Franklin's like the Edina of
Mhm.
Tennessee. So I would like to live.
You can
near
live in New York.
Franklin. No, thank you.
All
Okay,
great-
so if we could
all
move
great
anywhere,
things.
Elizabeth's gonna move to Nashville, Hannah's gonna move to New York, Morgan's gonna move to California.
for sure.
Okay, I would move only to California if it wasn't as expensive and if it wasn't LA. I'd want
Yeah.
to be somewhere outside of LA.
That's fair.
I would love to live in the Bay Area if
Yeah.
it wasn't literally the most expensive place.
Or like Pasadena, I think is really
Mhm.
nice.
That leaves me. I'm
would you
gonna live
wanna
here.
Really?
yeah.
Not Texas?
I have okay. If I ever get hired at Rooster Teeth, if I ever have the opportunity to get a job there, I'm gonna take that job.
Mhm.
But I am also, it's more realistic that I'm gonna like stay within the Northwestern Media Network.
Mhm.
And hopefully that would mean I would be either here or up in Duluth.
Mm,
Which up in Duluth would be very fun.
yeah, that's a pretty area.
Mm-hmm.
I can see you live in Duluth. Honestly.
Yeah.
I would love to. My sister would be very jealous. She lives in Duluth right now. And so I kind of know my way around there and like not like the touristy side of it, like the real citizen side of it. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah.
And she has to move to down here in like July, I think, or August, and then she'll live down here like the rest of her life, and she's not happy. She's not happy.
Did you
Yeah.
hear that Big Time Rush? They have a street named after them.
Oh, really? And oh, yeah,
Was
because
it?
they're
Yeah, it's like Big Time Rush Day or whatever.
Duh.
Yeah, because that's where they started.
How did I
filming the
not
show.
know this?
Yeah, you're the meme person. Yeah, this was. Man, it
Bruh.
was like. I don't remember.
Okay, field trip to Duluth
weren't
right
they
now.
weren't they
I
just
don't
there a few weeks
remember.
ago?
Well, yeah, it was for the Big Time Rush Day, and they
Yeah.
had a street sign.
Why did
I
my
don't
sister not
remember-
tell me about that?
I don't remember what day.
Was it called BTS Street?
I think it's just called.
BTR?
Wait, BTR.
I think it's
BTS.
Big Time.
I was thinking behind the
Rush
scenes.
Festival. Yeah, they were there for that, but I don't remember when it was. But yeah, that would be cool to see. But I don't know when I'll be in Duluth next.
Let's go right now.
But, yeah, let's go.
Well,
right now.
speaking
Let's
of
go to
going
Taco
to
Bell and
Duluth
then-
next, as we kind of like wrap up this episode, do you guys have any future traveling plans? This can be already like this is kind of like already planned out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah, I'm going to England for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally convinced my parents to do that. So, I mean, they're not coming with me. I'm doing the study abroad trip for 3 weeks with the school. So, I'm gonna go there in Liverpool for 3 weeks. So that's gonna be fun. My friend from Germany is coming to visit. She just booked her tickets yesterday.
That's so cool.
So I'm excited to see her. I haven't seen her in a couple years. So yeah. So I'm gonna study there. I might go to Paris. You know, the fun fact too is that my passport still hasn't come in the mail.
Oh.
And I leave May 19th, so I'm a little scared that it's not gonna show up in time, but I think it will. I paid to have it extra fast or
That's
whatever,
good,
but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited but really nervous because I've never left the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know how that's all gonna work. And like plus 3 weeks, like it's like a long time, but it's like a short amount of time. I think it'll be just like right, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like the flight there, I'm kind of nervous for, and
Yeah.
like
It'll be a long one.
yeah, and just like traveling by myself. Even though I'm going with like a few other people from Northwestern, like we're still in a way like traveling by ourselves because there's like no faculty really coming.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, okay. So, but I had a friend that studied at the school I'm going to for a whole semester. So he was like kind of telling me about it. So I feel a little bit more
That's nice.
like comfortable with it. But yeah, I'm really excited.
Do you know like what class or classes you're taking?
I'm taking one. It's for my cross-cultural credit. It's like a like creative lab where it's like film and theater.
Oh,
Dang.
fun.
So
Bruh.
Yeah.
That'll be so much fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because we got an actor nominee at 516.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
go. Let's go. We got an actress up here. Let's go.
Yeah. Maybe I'll learn something. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll learn something and then I'll bring it back to you guys. Just kidding.
How are you getting around? Are you driving or?
Oh, does it look like I drive?
wanna
Okay, I
take
barely
my
drive
car?
here, Elizabeth.
Do you want to take Krusty with you?
No.
Krusty does not
No,
drive on the
I-
on the correct side of the
Krusty
road
could
for
be
England.
International.
I think.
Okay.
No. Well, yes,
Krusty needs to be
international because
international.
the majority of people drive on the right side of the road.
Yeah,
Oh,
But-
true.
they go on the left. Right?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah. England and like Australia are like the only two countries who drive on the left.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
So buses for me,
Mhm.
or trains. I don't really know,
Okay,
but we
yeah.
get like a pass or whatever. So
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
The trains are good. My
Or-
aunt was there. She studied abroad when she was in college, and
yeah,
she much rather prefers London subways rather than New York. She hates New York subway, which
yeah.
is hilarious.
So no driving for me. That would be bad for everyone around.
I believe in you. You got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so Morgan, you talked about going to South Carolina earlier. I am spending the summer in North Carolina.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I have a
gonna miss
film
you.
internship with a media ministry called TWR, and I am very scared.
Don't
You're gonna
be.
do
You're gonna have such an amazing
So-
time over there.
I am actually going with someone from Northwestern, and we're like rooming together, and we're driving down there together. And she's so sweet, and I love her. So that'll be nice to have someone that I know. I'm just like, I live an hour away from home right now, and even that sometimes, like on a really long and tough week, I'm like, ugh, I just want to go home and see my cats and like,
Yeah.
be alone.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's not my parents that I'll miss. It's my cats that I'll miss the entire summer. My mom always gets mad. Mom, I know that you always get mad at me when I say that, but she's definitely listening. But like, I can FaceTime with family and friends all the time,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and even FaceTiming with my cats though, which I do.
Yeah.
Ugh. So that's gonna be like the toughest part. I know that it's probably gonna fly by, and it's gonna be like one of the best experiences of my life. But I'm just kind of nervous for that aspect, and then I don't know. I think it's like the first time that I'm like really and truly living alone. Like we're in like a lodge, and it's like kind of like dorm, and like I said, I'm rooming with Hannah, but I feel like this is like more alone than I've lived before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting.
That's gonna be so exciting. Speaking of, I feel like we should go and visit you.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be super
Oh,
fun.
that'd be
That'd be
I feel like an
fun.
Airbnb.
It's kind of broke, but
It gets
Try.
really humid there though, like in the summer. So
Mm.
Yeah.
Drink hair
It'll be
ties.
warm.
yeah.
So Hannah and Elizabeth, do you guys have any trips planned out at the moment?
no.
Not
No.
currently.
No, I'm still broke from New York, honestly. Trying to find a job. Yeah.
Well, now we can talk about. You guys can lead us into our last kind of point,
Mm.
talking about
Ooh.
bucket list places.
Ooh.
You're
Hmm.
gonna be like,
New York.
I mean, yeah, obvious answer, New York. Yeah.
that's it.
Well, I didn't really have much time to think about it. Okay.
I was like, you just went there though.
I want to go back, man. It's great.
What about like out of the country?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
What about
Well,
you,
we'll
Elizabeth?
give you
go-
some
yeah,
time to
you
think.
go-
We'll give you some
yeah,
time to
I'm just
think.
like, I don't know.
I would love to go. I feel like Europe would be super fun. Specifically, like Italy would be awesome.
yeah.
England and like a little. This isn't super typical, but I feel like it'd be super fun to go to the Philippines because my
Ooh.
great grandma is like 100%
Mm,
Filipino,
mhm.
Mhm.
and so we got like little glimpses of the culture like through her, and I feel feel like that'd be fun just to see. There's a lot of crime, so I feel like that would be an exciting trip.
Bring pepper spray.
You're fun to talk, girl.
Just trying to be helpful.
I know. I have pepper spray on me all times
I know you do.
in Roseville, Minnesota. So I would be prepared. But I feel like, I mean, as many places as I can go, I feel like but Europe is cool.
Mhm.
I think the coolest part of our jobs in the future is that there's a lot of opportunity to travel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go back to Australia. I went literally when the pandemic started. On our way back, we were there for like a week and a half, and then on our way back, we were the last flight from Australia to the United States.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh.
So that was it was very scary, and like I would love to go when it's not stressing about the world shutting down.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. My mom
Yeah.
was like, we would be able to text twice a day. Like she would get up really early so we could text like when I was going to bed. And then when I was just getting up, she would be like, it would be like the evening after or evening going to bedtime. And so she would update me on how the world was shutting down in the States. And we'd like, it wasn't really happening in Australia yet. The toilet paper shortage happened before it happened in the US, but like shutting down happened sooner in the US. And so that was really fun. I went back to a completely different country, so I'd love to go to Australia when it's normal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't like the flight. It was like 3 hours to LA and then 16 hours to Australia.
Oh my gosh.
So I need to do it. This sounds bougie, but I won't go if I can't afford to go first class.
I mean,
I want-
honestly,
long
same
flight, though. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
so.
It's like $3,000 for first class, but eventually I'll be able to afford it. Maybe.
Someday.
Because we're gonna be rich artists, and we're gonna.
Artists?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
If you
I'm-
speak it,
I'm
you're gonna
down.
believe it. Okay?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Manifest it.
Yes.
Yeah. Throw it in a little bit.
So yeah, I'd love to go back there. This sounds really, really bad, but I'd love to do like, a like Holocaust tour of
Mhm.
like Germany and Europe.
Mm.
I think it would be so like I went to Washington D.C. in 8th grade, and we went to the Holocaust Museum, and I could have spent like hours there, just learning and soaking that all up. So I feel like it would be a very like draining and sad experience, but it would be super cool to go there and go to the actual places. And I've kind of always wanted to do that. I've been really interested in history in general. I'll watch historical events that don't make sense.
Yes, plug it. Yes.
But just World War II history and the Holocaust history has specifically always been a huge interest of mine. And so I would kind of love to go to Poland and Germany and do kind of a tour of there.
When you went to the museum, were there like 3 other schools with you?
One, Hannah, we were not in 8th grade at the same time.
Well,
I have no idea.
dang, because I also went in 8th grade, and there was, I think, like 3 or 4 other schools, but one of the schools, they kept like running around and
Oh,
just
no.
like screaming.
That's
and,
not
like,
appropriate.
Yeah, no, the security guards were just like, yeah, you're done. And they like literally
You're
escorted
done.
8th graders out of
Oh
the
my
museum.
gosh.
Oh my
It's like,
gosh.
well, I mean, you don't mess around at the museum.
No.
I'm here
Yeah.
like bawling. I just like read a
Especially
little
with something
plaque
that
and I'm
serious.
bawling.
Yeah, no, it's a very serious
It was
museum.
a-
It's
Yeah.
so
it
cool.
was-
Yeah.
It was a really good museum.
I would also
was-
love to go back to DC.
DC,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a really inexpensive like destination. Like all the museums and everything that you would do is free. So you would just have to pay for like
Oh.
food
Oh,
and
okay.
hotel. But I would love to go back.
Yeah, that was my experience at the museum. I'm just like, holy crap, I'm crying, and I'm like, why is everyone just like running around? I'm like, it's a very emotional time, but it was good. Anyway,
I think, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll get to experience a lot while I'm in England. But I think Germany. I've wanted to go there to like visit my friend, even though she's coming to visit me. But I still want to like go to Germany and see what it's like over there, or Australia. I've always wanted to go there. New Zealand
Yes.
or
Locations there. would be-
Ireland. Like Dublin,
Mhm.
I want to go there so bad. There's a lot of places I want to go, but
Go to an Irish pub.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I would love to go like travel more in the States too.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't really been to a lot of places. Like I'd love to go to like Tennessee or something, or you know. But also in South Carolina, I've been to Charleston, but I've only been there for like 2 hours at a time. Both years I've been there, so like I didn't really get to experience like a lot of like the history there, because it's very like there's a lot of that there.
Yeah.
And there's always like tours going around, so I'd want to like stay there and like actually explore that area and like the history of it. So I don't know.
Okay, Hannah, you've had time to think.
Yes, I literally just thought of one right away, and it made me very happy. But anyway, so out of country, I would want to go to Greece because I totally
Ooh,
forgot.
yeah.
Yep.
In high school, there was an opportunity to go to Greece and Italy, and I literally went to the information meetings. I was just like, I tried to convince my mom because I like had no money in high school. I didn't really have a job, and I tried to convince my mom to go, and she's like, we just don't financially have it. So I would love to go to Italy and Greece for sure. Greece.
Mm-hmm. That'd be
And
cool.
then in state, which I just remembered now, I forget. Vampire Diaries was filmed in Covington, Georgia, and everything is still pretty much the same from the show.
Oh, nice.
And I remember my many spikes of extreme interest in the show. I have a little Google slide that literally has everything like preparation, like where I'm staying, like
Oh,
prices have probably
cute.
changed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'd have to find that. But for sure, Covington, Georgia, to relive my vampire dreams. So
Oh.
yeah, pretty great. Yeah, it's such a good show. I'd love to go there. So.
All right. Well, that was today's episode of the Good Soup Podcast, all about traveling. Thank you so much for listening if you're listening on Spotify. And thank you for watching the first video on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is fun. I
This
kept
is
like
so
looking
cool.
at it. I'm like, I kind of forget it was like videotaping it.
Yeah. No, it's super cool. Make sure that you follow Inside the Box, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome.
Good soup.
Good
Good
soup.
Good soup.
Yeah.